All right, I'm looking for some feedback from any sales manager or general sales manager or GMs from car dealerships. I'm going to lay out a scenario for you. You guys let me know in the comments how you would have handled it, and I'd love to hear from some customers as well on how you think it should be handled and get that perspective from the other side of the business. This has happened to all of us if you've been in this industry long enough, but this was one of the tightest ones, and I'm always curious because everybody seems to have different thoughts of how to handle this. It's the age-old tale of two customers in the showroom at the same time on the exact same car. And yes, before you ask, it is a used car, and it is nothing like what we have anything remotely close to on the lot. This car is a 2005 Corvette convertible, the C6 body style. We had one at a great price of under $20,000 for this car, and heading into springtime, the weather on Saturday was definitely making you think convertible. But regardless, the biggest problem with that is that I don't have another car like that. I'm a Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram store, and somebody that traded in a 20-year-old Cadillac is the only reason I have that on the lot. So needless to say, it's definitely a one-off. But gentleman comes in, drives, looks at the car, gets his walk around with a salesperson, drives the car, comes in, looks at pricing, negotiates pricing, agrees to numbers, and then starts filling out a credit application. Now, whether his credit was locked or whatever else was going on, the finance office was having trouble pulling up his information and accessing his credit profile. Backing up a little bit, before we got to the point of getting credit from him, we had another gentleman come on the lot. No appointment, no nothing, saw the car on Car Gurus, just wanted to come in and see what we could do for him. I actually happened to greet this customer out on the lot because none of the salespeople had noticed him yet. So I get out there, I greet him, and I tell him right away, hey, look, thanks so much for coming in. This is an awesome car. Who doesn't like a C6? However, I have a gentleman at a desk of a salesperson, and at this point they are going over pricing. I don't know if it's going well. I don't know if it's going good. I don't know if he just shook her hand and said, I'll take the car, but this car is still available at this point in time until a full commitment, and in this case, bank approval, was reached. Now, quick sidebar, if the first gentleman had said, yeah, I'm going to pay cash for it, these numbers look good, cool, we're done here, and it's customer number one that gets the vehicle. At that point, I pop in to get the keys and grab a salesperson. I see that they're presenting pricing, going over numbers. Nobody said yes or no or anything. So give the keys to the gentleman. He checks out the car with his salesperson. He takes it for a drive. He comes back. He's ready to see pricing. And here's where both of them come together in the time frame of things. Customer number one has his credit over to finance, and they're dealing, like I said, with some issues for some reason. Customer number two is a cash buyer. He looks at the numbers, says, yeah, I'll take it at that price. Should I just go home and you guys let me know if it's available? Because it was tricky, and I can see how some people would say, well, okay, he got to the finish line first, it's his car. And I can see that on a lot of things. However, when we get to the point of credit, in my opinion, that is not the point to pull the plug out from under customer number one. We told customer number two, hey, just give us a couple minutes. Don't go home yet. I'm not going to hold you hostage here all day either, but why don't we just give it a minute to see what happens with the first customer? Because at this point, if I've pulled your credit, you're obviously seriously committed to it, and it is my job and my team's job to do everything possible to get you into that car. That being said, his credit was a little shaky. Normally not a big deal. However, like I said, we're trying to finance an 05. I barely have any banks that'll do that, and you better have Rockstar credit. So, customer number one was unable to get financed. We went out, told him that, hey, with our lender options, I can't help you. Do you have any scenario where you can pull the cash together for this? He said no. We parted ways and sold it to the second customer. My question is that the right thing to do? Should we have let the second customer line jump because he was a cash buyer ready to go? Or was the right thing to do to let scenario 1 play out? How would you feel if you were customer 1, and how would you feel if you were customer 2 waiting around while you're ready to put money on a car? Quick sidebar, customer 2 had lost out on 3 other C6 Corvettes. So he's obviously very antsy and is feeling like he's missing every opportunity he can. So let me know what you think the right thing to do is. Did I handle it right, or what would you have done differently?